Okay. All right. So, yes. So, hey, girl, hey. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the premiere episode of Ask Miss Cotton. I am so excited about doing this particular video for you guys because this is the premiere episode, and Ask Miss Cotton is super important to me. It is the brand. It's everything. Ask Miss Cotton is everything. So on these Ask Miss Cotton episodes, it's going to be all about me talking about and answering a real life question. So today's question is coming to us from one of my favorite people in the whole world, my mommy, and she sent me a little article, a link to an article, and she wanted to know what I thought. And I said, you know what, Mom, this is perfect for the whole Ask Miss Cotton thing that I'm trying to do. And so I'm going to use this post for content. So shout out to you. Thank you, Queen Jamie. Appreciate you. So I will pause here so I can put in the little screenshot. So if you guys have not heard about this story, this took place in Salinas, California. And it's all about these two young girls who were sitting outside of Taco Bell completing their homework. And the mother got into first a little bit of trouble. First, there was some backlash, and they, of course, sent CPS to the home. And this is a very poor mother. Salinas, California is a town here in California. There are a lot of migrant workers. Of course, just like any city, there are the haves and then the have-nots. And so this woman is most likely teetering on the have-not side of town. And since this happened, she's like, my kids wanted to study. They wanted to do their homework. So I sent them to the Taco Bell because they had free Wi-Fi. So what do I think about this? I think that this is an example of good parenting. And I know that's exactly what CPS found when they went to her home. Although this mother does not have access to resources like Wi-Fi, she at least has the ability to allow her children to get it done no matter what, in spite of. And I think that's an example of good parenting. In the same article, they also talk about the fact that once the picture went viral, a GoFundMe was started and almost $150,000 has been raised to help this mother out, which is great. And then there are some people that are stepping up to actually help her manage the money so that she can get stable housing, and of course, within that housing, have stable Wi-Fi. But that goes back to the bigger issue of what's happening now. We're in this novel pandemic, and we cannot, as teachers, guarantee that our students have access to technology. But we've had to pivot very quickly. We've had to offer our students an education and switch to this distance learning model. And we've just had to make it work. And so we've had about 6 months to try to get it perfect, to try to get it together. I don't know that we're there yet. Some districts are far ahead of others, and that's to be expected. School districts are comprised of leadership, they're comprised of parents as partners, PTAs, and then of course students and teachers. So all of those different pieces need to be working together, and when they work in tandem and when they work well, then school districts are effective and public education works. But when any of those pieces are broken, if you have parents that are at odds with the teachers, or the teachers are at odds with everyone, or you have weak leadership, then you're in a school district where public school system may not be functioning the way that it should function. I will say that one of the things that I was really, really always a big proponent of, even before the novel virus hit, was equity. And so part of what I do as an educational consultant is I help school districts in California and Hawaii select high quality curriculum. And I used to really love to make the point about some of the curriculum that I'm solutioning for districts, that there's offline access because we can't control students' access to technology. But in doing some research, we did find that the majority of homes at least have a smartphone, and that smartphone does have some sort of network access. So it was hugely important for me to say, hey, this textbook that I think is a good fit for your district is a good fit for your districts because there's offline access. And if kids need to be able to, for whatever reason, do their homework on mom's smartphone or on their smartphone, they can work on it offline and then sync back up with the cloud when they get back to school. But now everyone is at home, right? And there's this big digital divide, have and the have nots. So not all of us are at home. I take that back. There are essential workers, um, workers that can't work from the home because we need them to put their lives on the line for us. So they're, at the grocery store or dropping off Amazon packages or doing whatever it is we feel makes them an essential worker. So what do those parents do trying to support their kids that are participating in distance learning? What do those parents do? Because a huge part of distance learning requires the parent to be the partner and to monitor their kids while they're online and offer support. So that's one aspect of the digital divide. The other aspect of the digital divide is that, just like in this Taco Bell story, some homes just don't have Wi-Fi. What do? Does your kid just not receive the free and appropriate education that by law they deserve? Or, like this parent, do you find an alternative? Do you find a way to provide your child with internet access? I also know that some districts like Pasadena, which is just up the road from me, they have already started this initiative for one-to-one. So they distributed devices to their students, and alongside those devices, they also made sure that students had access to Wi-Fi via a hotspot. But Pasadena has the funding to do that. Their tax base supports that. And again, we've already made the point that not all school districts function the same. So in this situation, in an area like Salinas, California, where there isn't an overabundance of access to resources, the median income is not very high. Um, I think that this is just a shining example of parents that are willing to go the extra mile. I think what bothered some people about the situation, because not everyone was on the mom's side, some people did say that this was neglect, that the kids should not have been up there by themselves at the Taco Bell. They're two young girls. And to that, I would say, you're probably right. There are weirdos in the world, but in this case, the mom probably felt like she was in a corner and probably didn't have access to healthcare. And those kids might be latchkey kids. They may be used to caring for themselves to some degree. And so she felt that her kids had the necessary social skills to be able to hang out at a Taco Bell and, look out for your sister. You guys stick together. The kids said they wanted to study, so it's also that motivation of them being aware of where they are in life and their situation, and maybe wanting to do well in school because that's their refuge, and they understand the importance of education as a way to elevate themselves in the world. So kudos to me, to both the in my opinion, rather, kudos to the mom and kudos to the kid. All right, but so here's some takeaway. Be that type of parent that gives your kids access to the free and appropriate education in spite of. We can have a whole different Miss Cotton conversation about whether or not you should be supplanting and supplementing the free and appropriate education with kitchen table talk. And newsflash, you absolutely should. You absolutely should. I don't want to hear that public school is all about indoctrination, so you don't care about free and appropriate public education. That is our right. Our taxes are paying for it. And we do want those foundational skills that your kids get. We do want our students to have access to those skills. We do want them to be able to read and write and count, and not to grow up to be consumers, not to grow up to be compliant workers, but to develop those base skills in combination with what we talk to our kids about at the kitchen table, to that hidden curriculum that we teach. Those things combined will make for not only a thriving member of our society, but just an awesome human being. And that's what it's about. Peace and prosperity, abundance, uplifting. When we're all better, we're all better. So there's free Wi-Fi in several different places. I'm going to include a link in this video so that you can see, at least in California, okay, at least in Los Angeles, a list of places where there are free Wi-Fi, free access to Wi-Fi. And this may be also true in your city. I would love for you to jump down in the comments and let me know and share ideas with anyone who may stumble across this content, where else they might be able to find free Wi-Fi. Libraries, Starbucks, hotel lobbies, your neighbor, right? Your neighbor might have Wi-Fi. Barter services. Tell your kids that you're going to take out the neighbor's trash for the next 2 weeks and they're going to let you use their stable Wi-Fi. Why not? And then also use your teachers as partners. I know that as I was reading that article, they were saying that the school district has since, heard about the situation and has been giving school supplies and is helping the mother getting permanent home and stable Wi-Fi. So don't be afraid to, if you can, trust your teacher, your child's teacher. Reach out and let them know, I don't have Wi-Fi. You would be surprised how hard a good teacher will work for you. A good teacher, right? That's what you gotta kind of fill it out. You may not get the world's best teacher every year, but for the most part, it takes a special type of person to sit in the classroom all day, every day with y'all's kids. It takes a special kind of person. Let me just show you, right? Teachers are superheroes. All right. So yeah, tell the teacher that you don't have access to stable Wi-Fi and see what magic that teacher can cook up. He or she might be able to really give you some solutions. Okay. Museums have free Wi-Fi. The McDonald's, the Taco Bells, they have free Wi-Fi. Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, they have free Wi-Fi. So don't be that parent that just dismisses your child's education, because we're all in this together. This novel virus is something else, let's just say that. And we need to be able to rise above and to share these types of strategies with each other. All right, so this has been long enough. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And then also share your ideas. Where can you get free Wi-Fi? And what do you think? What do you think about this story? What do you think about the mother allowing her kids to go down to the Taco Bell to complete their homework? All right, this was really fun. This has been the very, very first Ask Miss Cotton, and I'll see you guys next time. If you want to know, just ask.